Om Namah Shivaya. Hello and welcome to Dots of Destiny. This is for the New Year 2025 to all the Scorpio ascendants and moon sign. Now, Scorpio, the main thing that starts with this already November, you're feeling that your Lagna Lord is debilitated, though in the ninth house. Ninth house. So January also will begin like that. Now Mars is or by December 7th, Mars will go retrograde in Cancer. Then in the month of January, the first month in 2025, your Lagna Lord will come back to Gemini retrograde in your 8th house. Certain changes in you is still left to happen, because this is a very long transit of Mars that is happening in Cancer and Gemini. Now, I have taken this year as three main phases, with January, February, March, when you see that all the planets are still in their same sign, the major planets, and Saturn is there in Aquarius, your 4th house. Whatever things you are left to be done over there, it will be completed by then. Rahu Ketu is still in your 5th and 11th, and Jupiter is there in the 7th house. The grace of Jupiter is acting as it is aspecting your Lagna. Now, these 3 months, the changes that Mars also, your Lagna Lord going retrograde, coming back to Gemini, more things, more transformation is left to be done in these 3 months. Then these, whatever you have thought of, whether it's your professional area, whether it's your, the progeny area, the 5th house things, whether it's you, your things, your growth, that needs a rethinking as Mars is coming back to Gemini. Then April, May, June will see the implementation of those changes. You have to really work with those changes now. It will come up to you, and some kind of displacement in the sense, the change that you were understanding is bound to happen has already started happening. April, May, June. July, August, September is kind of a month to a little bit settle down, barring the fact that 10th house sees the ingress of Ketu and Mars is getting conjuncted over there. This is your main point of attention, I'll say, for this year 2025. Then in the month of October, November, December, you will see that Mars will be coming on your Lagna, and Jupiter in your 9th house, and Saturn is there already in your 5th house. So again, the Dharma Trikon gets activated in the watery sign. So let's start with January, when Mars is retrograde in your 9th house and coming back to your 8th house, and the planet Venus, which is the 7th and the 12th Lord, getting conjunct with Saturn in the 4th house. And you have Sun, Mercury in Sagittarius. That is a good combination actually. Sun, Mercury, though your 8th Lord, but it's a money Lord actually, 8th house and 11th house Lord. And conjunction with Sun in it is maybe family, food, money, togetherness with family can be felt in the 2nd house over there. It's a good thing. Venus, Saturn in the 4th house, some changes regarding your environment where you stay, your house, some changes can happen. Some even decoration, simply decoration can also happen, because Venus is not bad in the 4th house and in Aquarius. But yes, conjunction with Saturn is a little difficult at times, because Saturn is not that kind of a fairy tale planet. That's the only glitch over here. But members of the family, your mother's health need can be a little here and there, because Venus is not, it is a 7th and 12th Lord, not a very good planet for you. If you are having any governing position or dasha of Venus, Saturn or Mars or these things, take care of the mother, because Mars is also in Cancer, hovering around Gemini. Now, this January month, as it goes in the February month, you'll see your Lagna Lord is there in 8th house. Now it will slowly get direct, and Venus will join Rahu in the fifth house. You may be thinking about some investment matters, maybe with your partner. Maybe you want some kind of thing with your progeny. Love affairs can happen. Venus Rahu in the fifth house, too much of attraction over there, and these things can flourish. That's okay. Sun Mercury will be in your third house. If there is a decision point to be made, decision should be right. Because Sun Mercury does both good in the third house of Capricorn. So that way it is okay, but your health, I think, is the main priority over here. Mars being in the eighth house in Gemini. And now as February goes, March month come, we see Mercury coming into the fourth and then the fifth house and joining with Rahu and Venus. Now Rahu is retrograde, Venus goes retrograde, Mercury also becomes retrograde in your fifth house. So fifth house is becoming very important in your horoscope, where all the planets are one by one coming and joining Rahu, which is still over there. Now see, fifth house can be a lot of things. Fifth house, I look at it like, obviously it is your children, it is your investment, it is your the habits that you the good habits, like reading books, like mantra chanting, like putting up a library. I have seen good fifth house, good librarians. I have seen reading book is good for them. They love to do that. Then it is children related things, it's pregnancy related things, it's love affairs from the fifth house, it's investment from the fifth house, daily trading, risk, kind of risk taking, and your intelligence is also very important over here. Also fifth house is also about name and fame, as it is originally the Leo house. So it is your, as we all know, that it's your Purva Punya. Purva Punya is the factor which is very important when it comes to get some kind of recognition with the deeds that we perform in every lifetime. So here, Rahu, Venus, Mercury, three retrograde planets in your fifth house. Maybe you are contemplating it simply. You are contemplating about your investments, about your business, what can be done with it, your people, because Mercury is the 8th lord and the 11th lord, and looking at the, because Mercury is debilitated over here, but it gets a Neej Bhanga from Venus being exalted over there. So March, it is mainly, I feel, about money, investment, people, children, all these things you are contemplating. Also your partner can be there, or maybe you are planning some kind of a, foreign related thing with your partner. That is also there, Rahu Venus over there. Your partner can be very important in putting insights into your intelligence. That can also well happen. Or you're falling in love with somebody comes back to your life, retrograde Venus Mercury. Now, and that brings a change in you, because Mars is now direct in the 8th house. Now comes the month of April. 30th of March, Saturn leaves your 4th house and comes into the 5th house. Now the dhaiya for those who are Scorpio moon is over. Finally, you are done with it. So a relief in your heart area, heart. 4th house, I feel, is the feel-good factor, what we feel from within. When Saturn is there in the 4th house, the feel-good factor is missing. You don't feel good with anything, 4th house Saturn. That is the problem, whether it is an Aquarius or any other sign. Now Saturn comes into your 5th house in the 0 degrees in the April month, 1st of April. What I'm talking is that slowly you will see that Venus will come back. It goes back to nearly Revati and again comes back retrograde to the initial degrees of Pisces. In Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, the Jupiterian Nakshatra, Venus, Rahu, Mercury, Saturn, 4 planets are conjunction over here, and Sun by 15th of April will move out from this area to your 6th house, which is a good Sun over there in the 6th house exalted. Now these 4 planets over here, they are obviously your 7th and 12th lord, with your 8th and 11th lord, with partner, with joint ventures, with money, with these with investments, with children. If you're wanting pregnancy to happen, that can happen. If you're going for, see, all these things are now going direct. Now you are contemplating, and because Rahu, I have come across certain Scorpio, those who are having problem with children related things, conceiving children and with children. That happens when Rahu comes in the fifth house. It's quite because Rahu is deceptive, and Rahu is not a very good planet as far as fifth house is concerned. It gives good intelligence, it gives in the fifth house, very sharp witted, but not in the watery sign. I feel more in the airy signs. Now anyway, these four planets are getting conjured up in Purva Bhadrapada. It is a difficult nakshatra, and Jupiter is still there in the seventh house. So here partnership can be one of the biggest points of Scorpio. Now that can be investment related partnership, it can be just normally getting married, it can be falling into love and striking up a partnership of your choice. All these things are happening in the month of April. Now, as April subsides and May month comes, Sun is in your sixth house, which is a good sun. Here, Mercury also joins Sun, and only Rahu moves into your fourth house in the May month. Ketu moves into your 10th house. Jupiter moves into your 8th house, and Saturn and Venus still remains in your 5th house. So, some difficulties you are maybe facing in fifth house related things. As Saturn comes, Saturn is not a very good planet in the fifth house, given the barring the fact that you can go for long-term investments, but Saturn gives some dips also over there. Also you can face some challenges in the road ahead. But Saturn is not good for love affairs and all these things in the fifth house. It does not allow to that extent. It is aspecting now your seventh house, and so seventh house should be the unionship of marriage, should be will be more in your mind. And obviously, as Saturn moves into the fifth house and Jupiter into the eighth house, both are aspecting Sagittarius, the second house. Money will be a big issue in your mind. How to do with your money, what to do with your money, use your intelligence, where to invest, where not to invest, all these. Because see, whenever I look at Scorpio ascendants, or Scorpio especially ascendants, because Scorpio is the 8th house sign, and they go through transformations, no doubt about that. But 8th house is not just transformation. It is about the unearned wealth. They get or they make unearned wealth also. That is a very good quality of Scorpio. Now, how to use that wealth can be a major theme for this year, using your intelligence, as Jupiter has also gone into the 8th house, and it is aspecting 4th and the 12th house. Rahu is there in the 4th house. It is aspecting the 12th house and Jupiter. Some expenses can also happen. So Libra, your 12th house, is getting aspected by Rahu and Jupiter. When all these things are happening, Mars has come in by the 2nd of April, and May it will stay in your 9th house, and you can be thinking about long distance journeys and all these things. So April, May, lot of changes, planets coming together, and then slowly they are dispersing. That is happening. So at one point of time, you can feel your intelligence is too much. You're handling too many things at the same time. There are too many thoughts. Just let the thoughts come and go. Don't hurry up and take decisions, because April, May is not a decision making time. April, May, changes will happen around you. You have to go with the changes. You cannot, suddenly zoom through or stop the changes happening. That will not happen. You have to go through it. When June comes, then you see your Lagna Lord coming into the 10th house. Now here, 6th of June, Mars comes into 10th house, which would have been a great position for Mars in Leo, implementing things at 10th house. But here Ketu is waiting. And now the irritation of the 10th house starts officially. Now see, this is what I was talking till now. It was your 5th house which was taking all your energy and all these things. You were thinking about all the things that I've discussed. From June onwards, you will see all your attention is going into the 10th house, especially June, July. It's at a boiling point. Maybe you're handling new things. Maybe you're handling new boss already, maybe because Mars was already there in the 9th house. You do not See, no boss is very good to anybody, barring fact very few people, but maybe you were just coping with it because Mars was not that eager to, it is in Cancer, it was not a structure. Now as it comes to Leo, it gets the heat, it's a fiery sign. Ketu, razor sharp, very intense, and Mars being there, you can understand what is happening in the 10th house. Be very careful because Mars is also aspecting your Lagna. Now, that is a Jupiter aspect is not there on the Lagna. That's why June, July will be utmost caution. Very, very cautious you have to go. Venus will come in the June month in Aries. Then it will come into Taurus by July. So position of Venus is not bad. Sun is also not in bad condition. It is okay. Mercury will go retrograde in Cancer, and in between there will be a Mercury-Jupiter conjunction. I think June month, it will have a Mercury Jupiter in the 8th house, which is money giving actually, investments and all these things favored. Mercury comes into July month. I'll just see. In the July month, Mercury is retrograde, correct, in the 9th house in Cancer. So this is also 9th Mercury, only the faith goes missing with Mercury in the 9th house. Otherwise, if you are... if you're planning for different kinds of educational things, or you're learning something, or you're into some kind of organization, you're meeting people, all these things is okay. But main concern is the 10th house with Mars and Ketu being there and in tight conjunction whole of July. This is the most precarious thing that is happening in the 10th house. Total fire up. Be very, very cautious. This is the main thing that I wanted to say for all Scorpio and Aries ascendants, as that is their Lagna Lord. Keep a check on your health always. Do not get upset or do not get flared up too much. It's not a good story at all over here. Now, in the month of August, the last day of July, Mars will come into Virgo, 11th house. Lagna Lord in the 11th house is good, aspected by Saturn. Saturn aspect I don't mind on Mars because Mars has a hasty attitude which Saturn slows it down. Both are complementary for each other, not bad. But yeah, with your children or your 5th house matters. As I was telling you in the beginning also, whether it's investment, whether it's your intelligence, whether it's your children, whether it's conceiving, or whether it's your love affairs, all these things can go through a push and pull. Gains can be good actually. So Mars being in the 11th house, you can fructify some gains. That should be good. I feel so. Otherwise, Mars in Virgo does good. I feel Saturn, Mars, Rahu, all the three major malefics, even Sun also does well in Virgo. Virgo is a very patience-oriented sign. So here the flared of Mars of Leo has come down. But there's a push and pull with Saturn over here in the month of August till 15th of September. Now, from 15th of September, in between Venus will be in Cancer, Mercury comes into your 10th house, and then Venus comes into your 10th house. I'll give all the dates. There's a lot of things that is happening in 2025. It is a little maze when you go through this video. I know it's not easy to fathom what is happening exactly in what months. That's why I'll break it up every month. Obviously, every month is important in 2025. It is giving some of the other flavor. First 3 months, something is happening in your life, you have to go through it. April, May, June, the implementation, changes are happening around you. You have to go with the changes. You cannot say no. June, July is not good for you, Scorpio ascendants, as far as the professional things, your boss and your health and all these things is concerned. August month is not bad. Mars being in the 11th house till 15th of September. 15th September, Mars goes into Libra. Now, if you have any foreign journey or anything, that is favored over here. Relationship front, because Ketu will join with Venus in the 10th house. Again, some issues with the 10th house can happen, and obviously Libra is a relationship sign. Some kind of relationship can see a setback in your life. That is the main caution when Mars is in Libra. And Venus is with Ketu in the 10th house, because Venus is also relationship lord. 10th house matters are always on your mind now, and some kind of it will have some change. the change, if you're running a dasha of Ketu, Sun, Saturn or anything, 10th house becomes very prominent this year. Wherever Ketu goes, the theme of Ketu in Leo is that you have to do away with the pride. You can get a boss who is very dominating, which puts irritation. Now everybody will say my bosses are like that, but no, especially for the Scorpio ascendants, it can feel very irritating if you're having a governing dasha of Ketu, Rahu, Saturn, malefics. If you have, then it can feel quite irritating with the boss. But that is how Ketu is. That the Sagittarius ascendant was going through the same thing when Ketu was going through Virgo in the 10th house. You can, if you have to, you can change a job also. Ketu does that sometimes. But here, main theme about Ketu in Leo is that, see, the 4th house will see Rahu. Rahu is leaving your foreign land, seeing distance journeys, looking at, some changes in your 4th house area is inevitable. Ketu in the Leo gives, tells you that do away with the ego, and Leo is an ego sign. Once you keep your ego aside and submit, because Ketu, as you know, it's a spiritual planet, submit to the thing, whatever is happening, and just go with the flow. Ketu wants you not to bother wherever it is transiting, which is very difficult. Not saying it's not easy. It's easy. I'm not saying that, but that is how we take Ketu into our stride. Or you have to do Om Gam Ganeshaya Namaha every Thursdays 108 times, or go to Ganesh temple, bow down to Ketu, and it will give you the insight. Because the concern over here is that Jupiter is in Gemini, and it's a hasty Jupiter, Ativakri. So if Jupiter was aspecting the Lagna, you would have got the knowledge, but that's not happening from May to 18th of October. From 18th October, Jupiter again comes into exaltation for nearly 1.5 months to your 4th house. It will be aspecting your Lagna. That time good. And Mars also comes into Scorpio. The last 3 months, I feel, is good for Scorpions. October 18th, Jupiter comes into exaltation. Mars will come into the Lagna. November, December, it's good actually. So you'll have the 159 axis updated with Jupiter in Cancer, Mars in Scorpio, Saturn in Pisces. Now over here, Mars will be also joined by Mercury, your 11th lord. So some kind of gains can be seen from this house, from your 18th of October onwards. Some kind of gains flowing to you, because the change is also there. Some journeys can be there. Mercury coming on the Lagna with Mars. And lastly, Mars come into Sagittarius, your 2nd house, after 15th of December 2025. So the whole year is about your thought, your intelligence, and how you implement the things. 10th house and 4th house becoming very important. Saturn, whenever it is in the 5th house, you want to implement certain things regarding your progeny related matters. Maybe as simple as that, you want your children to be disciplined. It can happen like that. So the flavor of the year is, what can I say? It's mainly about the handling situation in the work front, and handling your health, your well-being, your mother, 4th house, your motherland, some change, property related matters if you want to buy, visit to some foreign destination, because Mars is favoring that this year for you. So these are the theme of the year. And obviously, if you are destined to marry, then it can well happen this year. Once from January to May month, even Jupiter in the 8th house also gives marriage, because it aspects the 2nd house, and 2nd house is like addition to the family. So marriage is also good over the year, barring the fact that Venus is getting conjunction with Ketu from 15th of September, which is not good, and Mars goes to Libra from 15th of September to the nearly end of October, which is not good for the sign of Libra. Mars in Libra shows quarrel and unwanted dispute. So other than this, it is that kind of a year. Every month you will have some changes to encounter, so go with the changes. Hope my insight on the year, every month I'll be giving insights on whatever planetary in details, planetary changes, what needs to be done. Do Hanuman Chalisa, very important for you this year. Go to Ganesh temple or chant Ganesh mantra at least on Thursday 108 times. These are good remedies for the year. This year is a year of change, and it is Mars driven year 2025. So hope this video of mine have given you some insight regarding 2025. Till then, till my next video, take good care. Have a good day. Thank you, Scorpio.